This video will show you the correct use of a glass volumetric pipette with one of these red pipette bulbs. So the first thing I want to talk about is the pipette itself. So this is a glass volumetric pipette. Hopefully it is clean without residues on the inside, which may retain droplets when you use it. So the first thing to do is to check. You also want to make sure that that tip is clear. There's nothing clogging it. This kind of speaks back to the proper rinsing and storage of these pipettes. When you're done using them, make sure you rinse them well or with a final wash with distilled water so that no mineral deposits end up inside the pipettes. This pipette is a Class A pipette, and you'll notice that it says TD, or to deliver, and the tolerance is listed actually on this one. So this is a 50 mil volumetric pipette. It'll deliver that volume plus or minus 0.05 milliliters, and the to deliver part means that some of the liquid may be contained inside the tip. I can actually show you one that's already had a little bit of water in it. See, there's a little bit, you can see the meniscus right there, a little bit that remains inside the pipette after it's delivered its volume. The pipette bulb here is one that I prefer compared to many other different varieties. And the reason I prefer it is because you can get a suction in the bulb and then go ahead and draw up your liquid using this valve here, and then dispense your liquid. And if you haven't quite gotten enough in it, you can, after you've filled up part way up your volumetric pipette, like this 51 for example, you can, without taking it off, you can actually recharge it. Do another volume, recharge it, do another volume. And in something like this 50 mil pipette, you're going to need multiple attempts to get that up there. And some of the other pipette fillers, you have to remove them from the top of your pipette and catch the solution before it slips out, and that's just really inconvenient. I'm going to demonstrate for you the use of these with the 1 mil pipette we have here. So I'm going to insert this in gently into the opening at the bottom of this pipette filler. We don't want it to go into the center spot, so we can make sure we can access both of these valves. I should point out that these valves are basically just a glass bead inside of this rubber housing. And if you're pressing too hard, sometimes you can move that bead out of position. So if it's not working when you squeeze and you don't feel that bead in there, you might have moved and you have to find it and squeeze it back into position, kind of work it back to where it should go. Okay, so we have some water here and a place to dispense it in this weigh boat. So I can go ahead and charge the pipette. One of the things you want to do when you're filling up is always fill vertically. So I'm going to put this into the water. I'm going to move it a little closer so we can see what's happening here. And I am going to press on the, let's move this valve here in order to draw the solution up. So as I press, we should see the solution rise in. There you go. And I'm going to go past the meniscus, you can see there, and I'm going to dispense back down to my line by tapping the other valve, this one right here, until it's back down to the line. So here, so I'm gonna hold it steady so I can do that. Oh, went a little past. Drop back up. And then you want to hold this eye level and really check that meniscus line to see where it is. So I can go ahead and do that. And then finally, when I get to the volume, I'm going to take off any excess that's on the outside of the pipette, and then I'm going to press that release valve, and the solution should come out. So I'm pressing this valve up here. And you see that meniscus line dropping, and when it gets to the end, there might be one little drop left, and you want to make sure that comes off, but there will still remain some water or solution in the pipette tip after you're done. Sometimes pressing that relief valve can take a long time, especially if you're dispensing 50 milliliters. So if you have the exact volume you need in there already and you're ready to go, you're holding it over your solution, it's okay to just remove the bulb. That will release the pressure and your solution will drop out. You still will need to make sure that you knock off any last drops, to where you're dispensing it, so you have the full 2 deliver volume that your pipette is supposed to give you.